My wife said, "I need a space." 4 words. Simple, almost polite. But they landed like a bomb in my chest. We were standing in the kitchen, the hum of the fridge filling the silence between us. She couldn't even look me in the eyes when she said it. Her hands were wrapped around a coffee mug she didn't drink from, her voice steady but distant, like she'd rehearsed the line over and over. I need space. I stood there frozen, gripping my car keys in my hand, waiting for something more. A smile, a joke, a sign that she didn't mean it. But nothing came. No hug, no reassurance, just silence. That silence was louder than anything I'd ever heard. I felt something inside me snap. 10 years of marriage, 10 years of promises, and suddenly I was a guest in my own home. A stranger she wanted to push away. I grabbed my jacket, shoved my wallet in my pocket, and walked toward the door. As I turned the handle, I muttered, "Fine. You want space? You'll have it." I didn't know where I was going. Maybe I just wanted to feel the night air against my face, to remind myself I was still alive. My chest was heavy, my throat tight, my mind racing. All I could think was, how did we get here? That's when I heard a voice behind me. "Don't go alone." I froze. Slowly, I turned my head. And there she was, my wife's best friend, Anna. She had stopped by earlier in the evening, dropping off something for my wife. She must have stayed to chat, only to walk into this emotional minefield. Now she was standing in the hallway, her eyes fixed on me, her tone soft but firm. "Don't go alone," she repeated. For a second, I didn't know what to say. This was Anna, the friend who had been part of our dinners, our trips, our celebrations. She wasn't supposed to be part of this moment. But there she was, looking at me, not as her best friend's husband, but as a man on the verge of collapse. Without thinking, I let out a broken laugh. What else am I supposed to do? "She doesn't want me around." Anna's expression shifted. Sympathy, maybe frustration. "She doesn't know what she wants," she said, "but I know you shouldn't be out there alone tonight." Her words hung in the air. Something about the way she said it, quiet yet steady, made me feel like she wasn't just offering company. She was offering a lifeline, so I nodded. We ended up at a small cafe a few blocks away, the kind that stays open late for people who don't want to go home. We sat by the window, the glow of the streetlights washing over us. I ordered coffee I didn't touch. Anna didn't push me to talk. She just sat there, letting the silence settle until I finally broke it. "She doesn't love me anymore," I whispered. Anna didn't rush to disagree. She didn't feed me false hope. Instead, she said, "Maybe." Or maybe she's just lost. But either way, it's not your fault. Those words cracked something inside me. For weeks, maybe months, I had been carrying the weight of blame, thinking if I had been more attentive, more successful, more romantic, maybe she wouldn't need space. But Anna cut through that fog. We talked for hours about marriage, about choices, about how love sometimes withers quietly while you're too busy to notice. Anna told me she had watched my wife drift for a long time, but she never said anything because it wasn't her place. "I always thought she didn't deserve you," she said softly. The cafe emptied around us. By the time we left, it was nearly midnight. She offered to walk me back to the house, but I shook my head. "I can't go back in there." "Not tonight." Anna hesitated, then said, "Then come with me." We drove in silence. She lived in a small apartment not far from ours. It was simple, warm, filled with books and photos. She poured me a glass of water and handed it over like it was the most natural thing in the world. That night, I slept on her couch. Not because anything happened, but because I couldn't bear to face my wife's empty words again. I woke up in the morning to the smell of coffee and the sound of Anna humming in the kitchen. For the first time in weeks, I felt steady. Over the next few days, I found myself talking to Anna more. She didn't try to fix me. She didn't tell me everything would be okay. She just listened. She reminded me that I was more than my wife's confusion. But the more we talked, the more I realized something. My wife hadn't been confused at all. She knew exactly what she wanted. She just didn't want me. One night, Anna confirmed it. She looked me straight in the eyes and said, "She's been seeing someone else." The air left my lungs. I asked her how she knew, and she hesitated before admitting she had seen it with her own eyes. Dinners, secret meetings, the kind of closeness you can't mistake for friendship. She had kept it to herself because she didn't want to be the one to destroy our marriage, but my wife had already done that. Hearing the truth didn't shatter me the way I thought it would. Instead, it set me free. My wife's space wasn't about healing. It was about escaping with someone else. And suddenly, I wasn't the weak one anymore. She was. The next time she tried to talk to me, I didn't crumble. I didn't beg. I simply told her, Oversee? You wanted space. Now you can have all the space you need, without me. She tried to backtrack. She cried, said she made a mistake, but I was done. Because while she was busy chasing freedom, I had found something more powerful, clarity. And through it all, Anna had been there, not as a replacement, but as a reminder that respect, honesty, and loyalty still exist. Looking back now, what left me speechless wasn't my wife's betrayal. It was Anna's simple words that night as I reached for the door. Don't go alone. Because she was right. I didn't go alone. I walked into a new chapter of my life, stronger, clearer, and finally free. Not because my wife gave me space, but because I took it for myself.